All right, so what did you learn out of this scrimmage?
It's really a practice for us. We wanted to do a little move the ball with the younger guys, probably their last chance to get some as we go through the season. The backups kind of get minimal work, so wanted to get them one last shot and keep them on the hook in case something happens early in the season. But overall, we were really simplistic in what we did, but wanted to just go out and be able to let them execute and know what to do when they lined up. So some good things, some coaching points out there too, with a couple of the interceptions, but overall not bad.
Has the depth chart sorted itself out, or is that going to continue with the first game against Portland State?
Yeah, I don't know if we have a real depth chart per se. We've got some packages that guys will be used, so if we start in that package, they might be the starter. But on a depth chart, if you really put one together, they might be, third or fourth even. So, I think coaches, we've got a pretty good idea of what those packages need to look like and what our guys are doing best.
Is that true at running back, tight end, and wide receiver?
Yeah, you bet. There's certain guys bring different things to the table, and so we want to maximize that and take advantage of their skill sets. So, and then you got to avoid the tendencies that might be there with that too. So they got to be able to do a little bit of everything.
You wanted tight ends. You think you're getting them?
Yeah, definitely. Moroni and Matt Bushman have really done a great job. Tanner Baldery, he's experienced, understands it. You'll see him in there quite a bit. And then even with J.J. Nwigwe, we'll mix in and give us some different options there as well. So we've got a pretty good blend right now and feel real good with where they're at and the progress they've made.
We saw Bushman get downfield. Is that something that specifically you want to see more often?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's the idea, is keep the safety soft and make them play the whole field. And that last interception, Moroni's running wide open down the middle. We just look in the right place. So, that's the goal, is to have a little more explosiveness with that group down the field, that teams can't just come up and play man with a linebacker and let safeties play the run.
When you be able to do that, how much pressure does that take off the run game?
Quite a bit, just because of the play action factor, that safeties can't just fly down in there and make a play at the line of scrimmage. So for us, we need to have that and have options in a bigger personnel that we can still line up and spread people out. Is
Trinman providing a deep threat now, or is that not happening?
Yeah, for sure. You see Bo Tanner as well. I mean, both those guys can go, and it's when we get our opportunities like you saw today, we need to take advantage of it and make the play. So he's definitely a deep threat.
Is there any specific aspects where you think this offense has taken the biggest strides from the beginning to today?
Well, I think when we came in, it was, we've thrown a lot at them here over the last couple weeks and tried to, get a lot in that we can go and draw from. So we've seen that growth, and now you pull back and start game planning, and certain guys get certain reps. You're not having a 15-play team period and everybody gets 2 or 3. You're starting to get 6 or 8, 10 reps in that period, and they get more comfortable with it. So it's the execution, the little things of understanding the adjustments, and I think we're pretty close to where we need to be, but that's always a constant battle because you see different things from the defense every week.
Do you have a singular starting running back?
No, they're all guys that are going to play, and like I said, different packages. We could start the game with 2 guys that aren't even on a too deep depth chart. So we don't really have a number one. We're saying you're our guy. They're all going to play for us.
It'll probably take some time, but eventually, as the season goes on, other teams would start to realize, it would kind of tip your plays based on the personnel you have on the field.
Sure, those were the tendencies I was talking about, making sure you cover those, and they have to be able to do everything. And it may not be what they do best, but they can do it and function and be pretty good at it. So it's not like, they can't do other things. So, you play and self-scout yourself every week after the game and see what your tendencies were, and then try to play to those for the next week, because the other team's looking at them too. So I know that you know that you know that I know, one of those deals. So at the end of the day, you got to be able to line up and execute, and our backs feel comfortable with them being able to do multiple things, but there's certain situations you may want a certain guy doing running a route, or you may want a certain guy in short yardage carrying the ball. So we'll play with those things.
Are those running backs, when you speak of different packages, is the running back position the best example?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's that and the tight end position probably are our best examples of, with with JJ, you're not going to get a deep threat.
Yeah.
And I think teams are going to know that. But you got to do enough with him, whether he maxes protection for you or he leaks out in the flat and catches and runs when teams start playing off of him. So you got to have enough of that in there to keep teams honest, and then it's not always a run when he's in. And we've been able to do that some this fall.
Is Hodge a solid too?
Yeah, he's a solid 2 right now, and he'll get the reps and what little reps the backup gets during the season, but he'll take all of those.
You know, a cynic, and you're not a cynical or sarcastic guy, but a cynic would say, playing so many guys, maybe they don't have difference makers. Is the quarterback the difference maker who gives you the edge and his ability to make decisions?
Yeah, you know, Tanner's one of those guys that he's going to raise the level of everybody else around him, and you know, he's a guy that feel like he's getting it out on time, making good decisions. The other guys, they're good football players, you know, so I wouldn't say, you know, we don't have playmakers. It's a matter of us getting it to him in the right space and the right time, and so he's a guy that can do that. So, you know, we'll look a little different that way, where Taysom sometimes just took it on himself, and Tanner's, you know, probably going to spread it around a little more, but be successful in that way as well.
Do you think Bo can do it if he's needed to? I mean, one injury and it's going to be his team.
He wouldn't be in there if we didn't.
Right.
I mean, so yeah, we feel comfortable with where he's at and what he brings to the table.
You game planned a lot a year ago, you know, protect the defense, time and score. Is that still the way it goes, or with Tanner back there, do you open it up? I mean, you don't have 2 of the top 5 rushers in school history anymore.
Yeah, like Herm Edwards said, you play to win the game. So whatever that looks like, we're going to try to do. And if that's, you know, a little more ball control, a team that wants to go fast and limit their number of plays, we'll try to do that. If it's, you know, a team we need to go